right, Bernie. 2 regular season games away, essentially, from the playoffs as of right now when we're filming this. I think it's time we start talking some playoff confidence grades for some of these teams, right? Out of a 1 to 10 scale, we're going to just go through each of these teams that are in the playoffs for the Eastern Conference and then the Western Conference. We're going to tell you guys where we stand personally, confidence-wise. Do we want to start up at the top, or do we want to start towards the 8 seed?
Let's go 8 seed and up. I think
all right, let's do it. So currently, as of right now, it could change. We're going to start with the Eastern Conference, like I said. Wizards are in the 8 seed right now.
Right.
Bernie, I'm going to let you start it off. Where do you sit on the Wizards from 1 to 10?
1 to 10, I think their confidence right now is at like a 5 or a 6.
Okay.
I think the reason why it's that low is because John Wall is still not healthy from his injury. He's still coming back. He's still trying to get more into it. But I just feel like they're one of those teams that talked too much at the beginning of the season. They said, if it was LeBron and the Cavs were scared of facing us. They were ducking us. And now you're in the 8th seed when last year you were, 2nd or 3rd, I believe?
2nd, I think.
So, to me, what this shows me is that the Wizards have been lacking a little bit of confidence. They're really lacking their superstar in John Wall to really step up to the plate.
Yeah.
And it's not fault of their own. He's had his injuries. But there's so much turmoil. They had their beef in the middle of it. That's why I think it's just a 5 or 6. I think it's repaired now, but I think it's still a work in progress.
I'm going to go lower. I'm going to give them a 3.
3, okay.
I think that the mental issues with this team of the John Wall chemistry stuff is very real.
Yeah.
I have just... honestly, I think 3 might even be overstating it for me. I'm going to give them a 2. I'm going to go down. Just because...
Man, I thought I was going to be harsh.
Wizards fans are going to be really mad at me. I'm thinking this, right? The talent is all there. It was there last year, too. Mm-hmm. And this really should have been their year to come together as a team and win. They had all the tools. There is so much chemistry issues just deep-seated amongst these guys. And, we had the big Twitter issue with Marcin Gortat and John Wall earlier on in the season. When John Wall left, and then the hashtag everybody eats. It never went away, right? People say that kind of stuff. They just don't forget. So I don't trust them. And I think at this point, if they were to prove me wrong, make it to Eastern Conference Finals or whatever the case may be, then I would disagree with what I'm about to say. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to get bounced in the first round pretty handily against the team in Toronto that we'll get into a little bit later. But I think you break it up. I think you got to trade John Wall or Bradley Beal. Just make your decision. Because then you can really get a lot of value out of one of those 2 guys. And then it's not like you're taking a big step back,
Yeah, that's how I felt about this Wizards team. I don't remember if I said it in the video or not, but I did remember thinking, this is probably the time where you probably should break up the Wizards. It's almost feeling like that 2011-2012 Clippers team. Yeah. Where they did so well, but they couldn't reach the pinnacle.
Yeah.
But this team is breaking up a lot sooner than we think, and that's just because of John Wall and kind of the chemistry issues like you talked about. Maybe I was being too light with the 5.
But it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not a bad position to be in for the Wizards because these guys are all in the primes of their career. And some of them, like Bradley Beal and John Wall, I think they actually have levels to go up as far as their quality. So, you can get an insane amount of value in return. So, like I said, they're not taking a step back. But I don't have a lot of faith as far as these playoffs are concerned. Number 7, as of right now, is the Milwaukee Bucks. I'll go first on this one. I'm going to give them a 4. They don't have a coach. They aren't coached at all, really. Joe Prunty doesn't do a lot on the sidelines for this team. He kind of just lets them go out and do whatever they want to do. And similarly, but not the same, I don't think Jabari Parker and Giannis have any chemistry on the court together. And I'm not disparaging either one of them. I just don't think they play very well together. So whoever they end up coming up against, even if they, as of right now, they'd be playing the Celtics, right? I think, honestly, even without Kyrie, I'm still taking the Celtics in this. Just mere coaching alone.
Yeah, this Bucks team is an interesting team because they have a superstar in the making with Giannis. Obviously, this was his breakout year. Most likely going to win Most Improved Player of the Year. just to win an award. But with the Milwaukee Bucks, they've had this chemistry issue. They have turmoil with the coaches. There's been rumors that Giannis was frustrated with Jason Kidd. I mean, there was just a lot of stuff that happened. And now we're here with the Milwaukee Bucks, who should have really honestly been like where the Pacers are at.
I mean, in this weaker East, with the amount of talent they have, they should be high up.
Yeah, it definitely should be 4 and up. Mm-hmm. But they're there where they're at now. So, number 7, Milwaukee Bucks, I'm probably going to give them a 4.
Okay.
I think they're going to do just enough to get a 7-game series out of Boston. Mm-hmm. But I think Boston will win on a last-second shot, I think.
I agree. I'll take that. The one thing, too, and I haven't talked about it yet, but a big factor for me is just experience. Playoff experience is always a big deal. So, like, the Wizards, I would give them the edge, obviously, over Milwaukee, just on the mere fact. Even though I rated them lower, if you were to match those two teams up, I'm taking the Wiz. Number 6 is the Miami Heat. I'm going to let you start on this one. What do you think?
The Heat right now are playing very well with the talent that they have. I still think that they're probably like a superstar or 2 away from really doing anything. And I've heard that Pat Riley has mended the fences with LeBron James. An olive branch has been placed out there. Mm-hmm. So if he wants to return there, he can. So I think with this team, I'm going to give them a confidence meter of a 6. I think that obviously they know that they're not the most talented team out there. They've had some issues with Hassan Whiteside as well. Bashing the team, saying that he's the best player out there and he should be out there. Mm-hmm. That's what he's been saying. So I think that could hinder them, but I do think that if any team has a shot to beat the 76ers that are in the lower tier, I do believe that is the Miami Heat.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like a strong 6, light 7. Just their coach is one of the best coaches in the league. Spoelstra is incredible, and I do think like they just have a lot of good pieces. Mm-hmm. If they can keep the whole Hassan Whiteside thing, quiet for now and stay focused in the playoffs, I have some faith in this team. Like you said, out of these lower tier teams, I would have the most faith in them to bounce one of those top 3 seeds. Mm-hmm. Like if they were to drop a game and then meet the Celtics, like no offense to you as a Celtics fan, but I honestly think I would probably pick the Heat.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I don't know. These 3 teams I feel like could go either way, but I do think that Miami Heat has the stronger chance of beating, like you said, one of the top 3 teams.
Yeah. Number 5 is going to be the Indiana Pacers. This one is a little weird because this team is virtually no playoff experience, but not really. Like they do, but they don't, right? Not as a unit. Mm-hmm. They don't have any experience. So I'm swaying between very low and like relatively high because they are very consistently good every night. So I want to say like a 6, strong 6, or like a high 4, somewhere like between there. It's kind of hard. I can't really choose. I don't want to pick 5, but I want to pick one side. But I'm going to lean towards 6 because I don't think Victor Oladipo is going to really choke in the playoffs. He doesn't seem like that kind of guy. And just as a team, like they just put out a really high effort night in and night out. They're not just like fluky good. They really just play very, very hard. It all comes down to like what Miles Turner you're going to get. And like Sabonis too is big for them. He's got to play solid like he has in the regular season. What are you thinking on the Pacers?
I'm thinking like a 3.
All right.
And the reason why I'm thinking the 3 is because of the team that they potentially could be facing if the playoffs ended today.
Okay.
And that's the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
The Cavaliers obviously have their number. That Pacers team, for the most part, is all still there from the time that they choked against I wouldn't say choked, but they definitely came up small.
Yeah.
Against the Cavaliers last year. So I think that's the reason why I'm giving them a 3 is because of who they're going to be facing going playoff time. If they were facing either the 76ers or the Celtics, if those 2 teams were to fall, even though it's impossible for the Celtics to fall, then I think it'd be higher. It'd be like at least a 5 or a 6 to me. But because they're facing the Cleveland Cavaliers, I'm going to go with the 3.